All right, I said I would take note. I was taking notes on the different districts as I was reading my summer 2023 reading list, which I finished today, 11 July 2023. So a little under a month into summer, I finished it. And it was book 1, The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This was initially published in 2008, but this is the September 2009 first Scholastic printing edition in paperback. Book 2 was Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, 2009. This is the September 2009 first edition, hardcover. And then book 3 was Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, 2010. This is the September 2010 first edition hardcover. So those are 3 books. And I took notes because there's a number of scenes in these books where they'll go through all the districts, or there's like some sort of ritual or tradition or whatever, and it goes through all the districts, but not all the information about each district is provided as the story progresses. And so I was starting to get a little bit frustrated. I was like, it'd be nice if it just said somewhere, or like in each book, you know, like here's what the district is. And it does that for some of the districts. And so I piecemealed together with page numbers, as applicable, the different districts. So I'm going to go through the district, the corresponding industry, the geographical location if it was provided, books emphasized in rebellion order listing in book 2, and then the corresponding book page number or page numbers. So this is going to be going through by district as opposed to by book. And for some of them I had page numbers. For some of them it was not explicitly stated. If I did a rereading of this at some point in time, like if I were living with my soulmates and we went through it together, I might like do it again. But this is from this reading for this summer 2023. These are my notes from this reading. Okay. So District 1 is luxury. It is emphasized in books 1 and 2 as career tributes. And the book where it says this is in book 1. So this book on page 69, it says luxury for District 1. So that's District 1. District 2 is stone quarries, military, including defense, weapons manufacturing, training, and personnel. So it's emphasized in books 1 and 2 as career tributes, and then the district itself is emphasized in book 3. And in book 2, on pages 82 and 83, and then again on pages 192 and 193, stone quarries and the military aspects are iterated, kind of developed. And then it plays a more central role in book 3, but that's where it's defined, so to speak. Up next, District 3 is factories and electronics. It's emphasized in book 2. The rebellion order listing in book 2, so there were like a bunch of uprisings and rebellions and stuff, and it was the author only put forward 6 kind of in an order, and it was the 5th of 6, and then it was like it reached the 6th district or capital, and then everybody rebelled, right? So this was it was still early enough in the rebellion, so to speak, that it got kind of like included in a rebellion order. So it was 5th of 6, like named or highlighted in some form, even if it was just one person. And then it says in book 1 on page 66, this is the district of factories. And then in book 2 on page 166, it says the district of electronics. So that's District 3. District 4 is the seafood industry. It's emphasized in book 2. Sorry, wrong side. And it was rebellion order listing in book 2 was the 4th of ordered rebellion district. And then in book 2 on pages 165 to 166, it explains seafood industry. Up next, District 5. So it does not, theme not explicitly stated in the text. So perhaps energies like hydroelectricity, dams, power lines, dams can be hydroelectricity, power lines, etc. Is it communications? It is emphasized in book 1 in the character that Katniss Everdeen / the author calls Foxface. So it did have a character that was like embodying the district, so to speak. So stealthy. Foxface was very like stealthy. As like an attribute, I guess. I don't know if that's reflective of the theme. The theme wasn't explicitly stated. Okay, District 6. The theme is not explicitly stated, or I didn't catch it again. Transportation is my best guess. And then it is emphasized in book 2 as morphling addicts. So like morphling is a drug used in medicine, and they're two characters, two tributes that get addicted to the drug. So that's how it's portrayed in the series. Is its biggest claim to fame in the series is through addicts. The theme is not explicitly stated, and they're recurring characters until they're killed off, kind of thing. The author does not like all of the districts, at least in terms of like giving them page space, so to speak. All right, up next, District 7 is lumber and paper. So this district is emphasized in book 2, and it is explained, kind of defined on page 214 in book 2. And that's District 7. District 8 is textiles production, including military uniforms. It's emphasized in book 2, and it is the second like ordered district to rebel in the second book, which is this book. And on book 2, on page 88, it's first, like, or not first, but it's defined textiles production. And then on page 140 is the including military uniforms part. Up next is District 9. So this one is a theme not explicitly stated. The tributes tend to be killed off pretty early, so we don't know much about them via the characters from District 9 either. So my best guess is like agriculture, like livestock or crops. Okay. Up next, District 10 is livestock, specifically animals. So like agriculture, livestock or agriculture, animals. And it's emphasized in book 3. And on page 8, it talks about livestock, a guy from District 10 who worked on cow reproduction, the beef industry. So livestock is my best guess. Up next is, well, not best guess, they actually provide that, right? They were working for the capital providing beef. So livestock. All right, District 11 is agriculture, specifically plants, so growing crops, it's crops. There's agriculture, there's two parts broadly of agriculture. There's plants and there's animals. My cousins in Minnesota do both, right? There's corn, soybeans, and then dairy farming. So agriculture is not synonymous with plants. There are crops and there's livestock. And so District 11 is the crops part of that. It's emphasized in book 1 and book 2. The rebellion order in book 2 is number 1. And then it is laid out that it is agriculture, like growing crops and plants. I chose the book 2, pages 54 to 55. That's kind of well laid out. Up next, District 12 is coal. The geographical location, so this one does actually have a geographical location, is in the region name called Appalachia. So that's the east coast of the United States of America. It is emphasized in book 1, book 2, and book 3. It is the third district to rebel or uprise or whatever in book 2 in the form of Gale rebelling. So it was an individual rebelling as opposed to like the whole district kind of thing. And it's emphasized in all of the books. Book 1, it's the geography is on that District 12 is in Appalachia is on page 41. And it's an ongoing theme in book 1, 2, and 3. However, like, so coal is repeated a lot. So there's not like an individual page I'm pointing to for that one on page numbers. It's kind of the theme of the series. Same with, well, this one actually I do have page number 4. Same with District 13. So District 13 is diamonds, nuclear weapons, and graphite. Proximity to District 12 is alluded to, like Katniss Everdeen walks from District 13 to District 12, so I'm guessing that means it's in Appalachia too, kind of thing. It's emphasized in books 1, 2, and 3. And then in book 1, diamonds in proximity to District 12 is kind of part of pages 48 to 128. In book 2, nuclear weapons and graphite are laid out on page 147. And then in book 3, proximity to District 12 is implied. So like Katniss leaves District 13, the buildings, and walks to District 12 kind of thing. So I'm guessing that means they're pretty close together. Or she goes to go hunting in District 12, right? Or take the cat, you know, whatever it was. Point being, they're close together. And then up last, I am including in this the capital. So the capital is the seat of government in Panem, which is the name of the country. And then it is also in charge of broadcast, television, and fashion. So that would kind of like stereotypical, that combination would be like Paris, Milan, London, Tokyo, New York City, Los Angeles, only like in a dystopian future. However, the geography is actually provided in book 1, so it's none of those things. It's like Boulder or Denver or Aspen, Colorado. It's the Rockies in the United States of America. That's on page 41 in this book. Again, book information if you want it. Like in a hardcover book, the page might be different. So in this copy, which is the September 2009 printing for Scholastic printing, it's on page 41. And it's emphasized in books 1, 2, and 3, and it is the 6th of 6th districts, so to speak, to rebel in book 2 in the form of Cinna, the stylist, rebelling for Tanis. So the geography is provided in book 1 on page 41. In book 2, Cinna rebellion in the form of the Mockingjay gown is on page 251 to 252. So that, in conclusion, that's the information, the notes I took on the districts this time through. It was actually, I took the notes while I was reading. So as I was reading, I was taking the notes and I was like, this is very helpful. It's not getting confused as much in my mind, and I have this reference. So I thought, since it was helpful for me to take the notes for myself as I was reading, I was like, I should put this into a video and put it out there. Because other people might find it a useful resource, whether they read the books or not, or whether they're just like, I have not read the books and don't want to. I don't want to watch the movies and I don't want to, but people talk about this. Maybe there's a YouTube video out there providing some clarity on what this stuff is. So, or whatever reason you're viewing this, I hope it helps. Happy reading and notes from reading.